Hello everybody, welcome back. We have an update today. I'm also going to be doing some late night Dormant Realm carries. I know I'm not always the best time slot for everybody, so after yesterday's stream and having to cut it off a little bit early, I wanted to get into Dormant Realms again today, see if anything has fixed itself, finish off at least uh, my Dormant Realm carries, and then help anybody else if they decide to drop by. And we do have an update today, and we'll get into why I have the versatile weapons pulled up here in a minute. But we're going to try to quickly go through here. There's not a whole lot I care about here, but there is a few things that is very important. Alright, so the first item here is a password that you can put on trade items. Pretty much it allows you to enter a password to be able to access items that are valuable and move them around. Once you activate it that day, it will stay active until the next day. This is the one I really don't care about. I'm not likely to use it, although maybe I should. Just on the off chance that anything, if anything ever was to happen to my account, maybe I should have a passcode behind all that. I don't know. I'll consider it. Should probably do it. Of course, they tell you don't share your password, don't use third-party trading platforms for item transactions, blah blah. Don't care about it. Alright, market adjustment. Market prices of all capital ships are restricted. That means you can't just put a capital ship up for whatever price you want to put it up for. It's going to be restricted in the same way that Flex is restricted. You can only go up, I think it was like 10% above market value or something like that, or below 10% market value, I believe, as well. I can't remember on the low end. But I do know that there is a limitation on capital ship sales. So definitely, consider getting your sale before then if you want to jack up prices just before the next update. Alright, so they changed the name of some rig blueprints. So they're also going to be removing a bunch of event mission items and unreleased blueprints. That way people can still trade them via contract, but it won't take up the market. Alright, here's the most important changes of the day. This will go live in about 8 hours for me. It's more like 7 hours. So, capital ship close-in weapon systems are having their base damage reduced by 50%. So, on the Hail Versatile Fleet close-in gun, instead of 750, it will be, what is that, 325 or something like that? 375? On the Hail anti-ship, it will be 500 DPS rather than 1000. And on the light fleet, it will be 250 rather than 500. The reason for that being is because every single dreadnought is going to be able to have a close-in weapon system now. So get your hands on these while they're still like 9 billion, 6 billion. The light fleet is probably the least used here. They have already gone up in price quite a bit from the announcement early yesterday, was it? Or early this morning today. So the standard dreadnoughts are getting a high slot for the close-in weapon system. The Lancer dreadnoughts are also getting a close-in weapon system. They're not adding a high slot to the Lancer dreadnought, so you have to choose between your Lance or uh, your close-in weapon. That is one downside to using it on a Lancer, but if you're like me and you're only flying like a Lancer or a Bodyguard in Dormant Realms, then it won't matter because you cannot use a Lancer in Dormant Realms currently. So you would just fit one of these and call it a day. To make up for the reduction in damage, the Lancer Dreadnoughts are going to be 50% more damage after the reduction in damage of the weapon. So, for example, after the adjustment, the Hail anti-ship fleet will be at 500. The Lancer Dreadnoughts will be at 750. The Guardian Dreadnoughts, the ones that originally had their anti-ship guns, well, and Seaways, they are getting a bonus. It's going to be a roll bonus of plus 100% to the module DPS, so that way it keeps in line with pre-update levels. So what you see here on my Phoenix Bodyguard, I run the anti-ship fleet close-in defense gun. That is this one here. I only run it because I am in Dormant Realm and not out and about. If I was out and about, I might choose the Versatile or maybe even the Fleet Close In. We'll go over those choices a little bit here in a moment. But my DPS will not change after the update. It will remain at that 1,480, so that's good. That means the bodyguards still have a little bit of an edge over other dreadnoughts. However, if you're someone who is a little perturbed by the changes and feels like maybe the expense of the bodyguards just to have that little bit extra DPS on these modules is not good enough, you could consider selling off your bodyguard or trading your bodyguard and getting like a standard dreadnought. For example, like if you wanted to go for like the normal Phoenix, for the cost of one bodyguard, you could probably get 4 or 5 Phoenixes. And with that, you should also be able to fit them with whatever close-in weapon system that you would want. So in terms of what you should be going with on a close-in weapon system, the versatile fleet gun is going to be for small ships and fighters. So that'll be destroyers, frigates, and fighters. It does not attack drones. The light fleet close-in gun is only for drones and fighters. and the anti-ship fleet gun, which is the one that I use, is for small ships with a focus on firepower along with medium-sized ships. So it's going to mainly target frigates, destroyers, cruisers, and battlecruisers. It can also target battleships and the Sleeper Centrum, so I assume it can also target capital ships, but you would not be relying on that for extra DPS most times. So that's your rundown. The most popular one in Dormant Realm is going to be the anti-ship fleet close-in defense gun. The most popular in low sec would be the versatile close-in defense gun, and I'm thinking in nullsec, where there's a lot of drone players, you might find yourself wanting to have the light fleet one. Although this one and the versatile are pretty close to each other, versatile will probably do better for you. Alright, so after that we have a change to the defensive industrial ships. That is the Sigil, the Badger, the Wreath, the Nereus 1 and 2. Armed Nereus, that's the combat Nereus and the combat Humpback. The base HP has been increased by 100%, with the signature radius being decreased by 20%. So they are more survivability. They have more survivability under normal conditions, and they are having their defensive mode removed. This is kind of going the same for the bomber frigates. So they're going to remove the... They are going to remove the stealth bomber mode, and they are going to add a mid slot, which you can install a tactical module on. With a new bonus, they can be fitted with the Bombard tactical module, identical to the Crusaders module, and can be purchased via the market. When they say the Crusaders module, let's have a look at that. Tactical module, regular tactical module, bomber tactical module maybe? Crusaders module. Do you know which module that Crusaders module is? Is it just this one? If I had to guess, it'll pretty much be this. It's just, it's not good. I find the bomber module very lacking. Anyway, so those are the main changes. They have optimized the induction landing range of Cynos by 2 kilometers, which reduces ship collision. That's good. That means when you land in a Cyno with a bunch of other people, you're not going to get bumped out of it as often. Tactical carriers have been added to the ship tree now. When that update goes live, they fixed an issue where AI was still freezing, and we will be given amethyst cones as compensation. Oh, good. Now, when AI completes normal encounter tasks, it will directly contact the mission center behind the scenes without displaying dialogue. This usually takes a few seconds, but that should now mean that it is actually a little bit faster and more effective because it won't have to bring up any of the extra pages. Fix an issue where when switching implants, ships could result in being unable to enter or exit station. That's a weird one. Fixed an issue where data could not be collected during the relic scramble, and fixed an issue of contact loading lag. Alright. Cool. That's our updates. Does anybody need Dormant Realm carries today? Since y'all are here today. Oh, good. It's interesting that you've gone with the anti-ship. It's definitely interesting. Yeah, I think you really should have at least the versatile one as a backup, just for when you get attacked by anything with fighters or smaller ships, because it'll track a lot better. It should kind of perturb some destroyers and frigates from trying to jump you and lock you down with the versatile gun. That one? No, not that one. Huh. There we are. What'd you come across today? You should use the general unit for fighters. Because the Hubris uses fighters, so. Let me just make sure I've got everything okay here. Still good on capacitor. We're about 1.1 million down on fuel, but that's not bad. we can go a long time on our fuel tank. Ooh, nice. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Not sure if anybody wants to join or still needs any. So I've got one character with 6 completions, and the other 2 have 3 completions. Just the right amount to get me done. Ah, no bueno.
Undone.
Gonna wait for all 3 of these batteries to run out here. Alright. Back on track and going at it. Seems like internet's doing a little bit better today, or at least the NetEase network is doing okay. That's good. I don't know what I want to do today. I know I wanted to at least do my Dormant Realms. Get that done. But after that, is there a particular ship you guys know I have that you want to see me fly? You know, that's a good question. I would maybe choose to move it to high set. Set it up for any kind of like high-sec event, such as like Waste Seeker, combat event, or something like that, and then set up a jump clone. So that way you can jump to your cyan whenever you want to do like a high-sec related event. Yeah, you do have the Lucent Moon, so I guess it's a little bit of a toss-up, since sometimes you might want to have the fighters rather than the lightweight ships, and that cyan is really good for that. Yeah, I really want them to return the Lost Waste Seekers, or something similar to it. That's part of the reason why I got 3 Lucent Moons again. Because I know it'll be back eventually,
Docking request accepted.
and I want to be ready for when it does.
Undocking.
Yeah, I know this particular change to Dreadnoughts is gonna upset a lot of, like, destroyer and frigate pilots, because they're so used to just locking down a capital ship without much fear of them being able to do anything. But with the amount of but with the amount of ships that are gonna have these close-in weapons, they're gonna be way better protected from those people that are just warping in, dropping a bubble, and warping off. And they can't sit on grid for extended periods of time without that, um, without that gun spooling up and getting better tracking and damage on them. The longer they're on grid and being targeted by it, the worse it gets for them. Yeah, yeah, it's amazing how comfortable people have gotten with tackling a dread. Especially the Lancer dreads. They got very good at that whole warp in, drop a bubble, and warp off. Yeah, the Hubris is amazing for dealing with those smaller ships. And I think it is absolutely necessary to have that versatile assault weapon on there for those smaller ships that are gonna try. The anti-ship one is also really good. Yeah. At least with the versatile assault weapon, close-in weapon, even if your fighters get destroyed, you're still gonna have that close-in weapon as a backup.
We're under attack. We're under attack.
And I like that they have made it so Lancer Dreadnoughts have to choose between a close-in weapon or their lance. I think that's a very good choice by the developers.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Yeah, I haven't put any points into Lancer either.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Wow,
We're under attack.
that's rough.
We're under attack. We're under attack. Docking request accepted.
Okay, we've got one more run to do. We'll do our normal income thing.
Undocking.
I was trying to look up yesterday to see how people were performing in the rattlesnake for Dormant Realm, either 1 or 2, and people just don't fly the rattlesnake that often.
We're under attack.
Yeah, it's hard to justify using the lance and skilling into it if it can only be used in nullsec. Um, if you are in
We're
nullsec
under attack.
and you're actively going after like citadels and capsuleer outposts and things like that, then yeah, it's kind of worth having the skills. If you're actively hunting down capital ships, then yeah, it's also
We're
worth
under
having that.
attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Yeah, definitely the rattlesnake
We're
is like
under attack.
mostly used for story mission running, it seems.
We're under attack.
But I'd definitely like to be in a position with the alphas to
We're under
to do
attack.
those dormant realms and just blitz through missions.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
You know, something that I came across while I was looking for that information. There, I've seen two different ways of doing the mid slots
We're under attack.
for Dormant Realm 2. One is to fit all group
We're
shield
under
boosters
attack.
in your mid slots, and the other one is to
We're
fit
under
all
attack.
capacitor boosters, or group capacitor boosters in your mid slots. I just thought it was really kind of interesting
We're
that
under
was even
attack.
being considered.
We're under attack.
The ones with the capacitor mid slots are also running with a nightmare or a fiend sometimes. Mostly a nightmare though.
We're under attack.
So I'm guessing they're just using that
We're
to
under
let
attack.
that nightmare go full ham on its healing.
We're under attack.
Yeah, how did that graph go? Did it hurt?
We're under attack. We're
That's
under
good.
attack.
Like I said, previously, most of the ships were not capable of catching up to you at 100 kilometers, and so I really did not see any reason why it shouldn't still work, other than at like the hardest
We're
versions
under
of
attack.
missions out in nullsec maybe being a problem.
We're under
Otherwise, it's
attack.
just not that bad. Has anybody looked at micro jump drives in high sec or low sec?
Docking request accepted.
Yeah, 3 NPC Cyan is rough. Hey, now you won't have nearly as much problem because you'll have that close-in weapon system for that kind of scenario. Honestly, that's not that expensive. That's really not that expensive. I thought they'd be like 8 billion. It doesn't specify. Because these are the capital multi-ship ones. These are the ones that are for multiple ships. This is just the single. It uses 1,000 power grid. No, this is just the normal one that you use for all ships. Yeah. I mean, all the normal ones will do is adjust how much capacitor is needed, very likely, and maybe the warm-up time. They're all going to be limited to 100 kilometer jump range. Alright, so let me go ahead and grab my rewards. We'll see how much we make this week. I wonder how well these do on a Dominix with the thermomagnetic storm core. I got these thinking I would maybe get a hubris. I'm still back and forth between the hubris and the pain. It's such a hard choice. I don't even know what these things are worth now. Not much. Where are you? There you are. Already a pretty good sign this week. Alright, so we've got one Ascension compiler there. We got a level 8 ballistic control. Interesting. Basic focus crystal. What's this thing worth on the market? Not much. Okay. We got another Ascension compiler. We got a Bombard core. Ooh, we got the gold core. Oh yeah. We got the gold implant. Let's see. This one also got an essential. Ooh. Now this might be interesting. Really? Wow, that's worth nothing. Alright. Let's get all of this material moved over. See if I can use this implant or if I need to destroy it. Do I already have it on this character? Alright. So we are now at a gold core on that. Nice. get this. Okay, let's go ahead and move these as well. You thinking I should keep it instead of selling it? Which one got the Bombard core? Was it this one? Alright, let's go ahead and just stack everything after I accept these contracts. Okay. Maybe I already sent it over. I just didn't remember clicking on it. Then get everything stacked up. I should maybe start considering buying the blueprints so I can use up more of my excess materials. Oh my god, that's a lot of stuff. God, when you have so many items in your hangar, and it just takes forever to stack everything. Yeah, there's the Bodyguard core. I could probably also sell... I could also sell that implant if I wanted to. Alright, let's go ahead and make our stuff. Gonna have to pull up some Discord here for a moment. See if I can find my... stuff here. Gonna change that to 30, because we have 3 of these. What is that worth? Yeah, no, I hate a messy hanger. That's why I don't hold on to everything. Implants, compilers. There we go. So, probably about 42 billion, or 42 million times... Uh, 30. So 1.2 billion out of that. Okay. Genesis compiler. We have 5, which is less than last week. $21 is what we're getting out of that. So that is 1.05 billion. Already starting off really strong. We're at 2.26 billion so far. We have 8 of these, which is the same as last week. They're going for 2.3. That is 184 million. And we got the same 350. Oh god. I hate how long that takes. Alright, so 350 of those at... Ooh, they're up in price a little bit. Normally it's 140, but I can probably get 160 out of these. That is 56 million. After all of our stuff is combined, we have 2.55 billion. Okay, there we go. I need to edit that again. There we are. That's accurate. Okay, that's good there. Alright. What do I want to fly? Yeah, for being a little bit delayed, not bad at all. What do I want to fly? That is a hard choice. Right now I pretty much only make whatever I make on Monday, which is like 2.5 billion or 3 billion sometimes. I have not been doing a whole lot of mission running lately, but normally I'll make like a 300 million per hour across all three characters if I'm running missions. Yeah, I'm like super lazy. I've been literally only doing my Dormant Realms and then not trying to make any more ISK per week. On average, I could probably make, if I'm like really going my normal like 3 hour mission running, um, I'm looking closer to, yeah, 300 million an hour, so almost a billion a day, like 900 million a day if I'm only running missions. for like 3 hours. But I'll run out of commendations well before then. It pretty much cuts it in half. So 150 million an hour after like the second day or something like that. I don't know, I've got a lot of combinations laying around. Yeah, definitely. That seems about right for what a high-tech player should be doing. I need to get my hands on another thermomagnetic storm core. But I am just not anywhere where I want to be on that. Oh boy. What box is that? Battle cruiser. That would actually be kind of nice having the clear sky on a battle cruiser. I want to fly something kind of fun. But I don't have all three ships the same in some cases. I don't even have destroyer skills, so I can't. I have launch torpedo skills. But yeah, no destroyer command or anything like that. I thought about scaling into it as well, especially like the Enforcer. I do want to get back into flying a couple of cruisers and things, but man, I don't know. I'm just so geared for trying to be efficient in high sec rather than having fun in high sec. Hmm. Yeah, I hope I get lucky with a 5.5 million lab. Does the Tristan Navy issue have access to this module? No. That's too bad. Yeah, 5.5 millions don't like me either. I kinda wanna do, like... Yeah, it's a really low spawn rate for the cyan spawns in high sec. They need to make a missile version of these ships. If there was a bomber battleship with missiles instead, I would very, very likely have 3 of those in my inventory. Yeah, because of the new heavy fighter things, we could see like a missile Naga. $2.25? Oh hell! Ah damn! I don't have enough for that. Shoot! Wait, I've gotta. Can any of my alphas make enough for that? Oh shoot. Okay, so that one won't have enough. This one won't have enough. So my only choice is this one character, which has. It's not gonna be enough. Okay, inventory. Oh, I'm in perimeter too. Okay. Yeah. So one of the funniest things about the Praxis is you can actually fly it as a Tech 7 pilot. I'm an alpha clone with the Praxis here. You just can't fly the Praxis 2. Nope, Praxis has no tech level. But the Praxis 2, if I recall, actually I don't know, am I flying? Yeah, it's Omega restricted. It has no tech level, but it is Omega restricted. So you can have a battleship at Tech 7. Okay, I need my book. All I care about is offense and industry. Right? It's on the materials, isn't it? Times 100. My orders are 26. 260 million. This is on the offense. So 26 million per box. And then the other one is the combat learning data. 400,000 for 342. Oof. Okay. So our next box option is the industry box. $36 million. Oh no. Yeah, I was hoping I would get one of those eventually. Okay, so either one will work. I think we're just gonna go with the 10 industry boxes. I have to exit out and reload. Ugh. We're still so far off. So yeah, we would need at least one more Concord pass to try to buy a rattlesnake. That's really too bad. It's still sitting there. How is it still sitting there at that price? I have half of mine not to just buy that right now. My god. Well, let's see if we get lucky with... It's... Oh... Oh... I'm trying to yell at myself, don't do it. Don't do it. But it's literally like 300 million less. Almost 400 million less than... Yeah, 2.2 billion is really, really tempting. Ugh, hate when it does that. Oh, damn, that is a hard choice to just skip on that. Especially since, like, if I was gonna go for the rattlesnake, I might as well just buy a cobra and have a better ship overall. How has it sat on the market that long? Is there that many people like me just sitting here going, oh, oh? Honestly, not a bad price for the Raven Striker. Or any of the Strikers in that matter. What? Why are you so low? Why are Megatron Strikers so low in price? Oh god, I remember when the Scorpion was only like 350 million. Scorpion 2 used to be like 2.5 billion. So it's come way down in cost. Not a bad price for the Dominic's too. Oh my god. Oh. Gotta change the Dormant realm fleet. How do I do this every time? Eh, the Nestor is getting cheap. No. God, the dang thing keeps going up in cost, in price.
Undocking.
Oh hell. Okay, we'll just... I have gotta fix my settings. Yeah, 31 billion for the Nestor.
Autopilot engaged.
God, I used to be able to buy the Nestor for 14. Or 12. Man, those were the days.
Warp drive active. Destination reached.
Oh, guess we're not using the Nest. Well, maybe we can do this one. it's not really useful, but yep, time to travel in style.
Fleet warp.
And because we're in the same system, it doesn't matter where it drops us. Waiting on them to
Warp drive active.
get to warp. Yeah, it's the result of using the Sun Chaser engine.
We're being warp
That's
scrambled.
the thing for it.
Enemy ships detected. Enemy ships detected.
Man, I really enjoy having the, oh, you know, we're only 3 waves in, and now we get the warping attack music.
Enemy ships detected.
Okay, all of my industry jobs have completed.
Enemy ships detected.
Last wave.
We're under attack.
Yeah, they don't have any loyalty points or rank at all. Yeah, the drone damage booster in there would be really nice to have on the alphas. If they can use it. And there is nothing quite like bringing almost 60,000 DPS. It's probably more like 50 something. Yeah, like 50 across the board. Just to fight one lab. Yeah, there's no core at all on these.
Autopilot engaged.
If we get a fighter core, I would prefer that. Since we already had one for lightweight ships. God, it took me less time to get to warp out here and kill everything than it's gonna take for me to get back to Cheetah.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, I mean, 10 without the modules, it really needs to be upwards of like 12 without the modules active. And it needs to have a good nanocore. Yeah, definitely for mobility, having that micro warp drive will help you warp. But I'm in high sec. I mean, now that I have the Sun Chaser engine, so long as I always have
Warp drive
multiple
active.
labs, it doesn't even matter. $10 for a 5 million ISK lab. I think that's a little slow for having 3 capital ships there.
Warp drive active.
But I guess it was less than 10 minutes because I still had to do the whole um warp in and things like that. So maybe it was closer to like 6 minutes.
Destined docking request accepted.
And while I'm here, I need to refuel. And it's 12:30 in the morning for me. Nope, I do not have work tomorrow. Thank God. Hello, Kev. How you doing tonight? Good to see ya. Yeah, that's fine. Let me, I've only got one 410 left that I can do, but if you want to join for level 6s as well, we can do all the level 6s. Alright, what in-game name can I use for you? Oh no, your work starts in an hour and a half? Ew. Tina Coca. Ah, no capital. Yes, sir. You guys have a good day too. Am I spelling this right? Tina Coca? Okay. Oh, there we are. I'm halfway doing my things right. Oh, you will have to exit your current fleet, Kev, if you don't mind, so I can get you in here. Take care, Snoopy. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I'm just waiting on you to exit your fleet. Yep, I'm just waiting on you to exit your fleet so I can invite you. It won't let me invite you until you exit your fleet. There we are. Yay! Okay, and before we get too far into that, uh, that way in case we disconnect, I can get you back in. That one. Yeah, so if you want to stick around, we can do, this one level 10 because that's what's going to lock out one of my characters, and then we can do the rest of them at level 6 if you're okay. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and exit. I'll get you back in the fleet. There we go. Let's get you invited again. That should work. Yeah? Beautiful. Well, what do you normally fly, Kev?
Undocking.
What do you enjoy doing?
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
What kind of ship do you enjoy flying? Are you a capital ship pilot, or are you like battleship and frigate?
We're under attack. 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 We're under attack.
Nice. I like the Apocalypse. That's a fun ship. I used to fly one for a long time.
We're
No, the
under
longbow
attack.
has no cold stats, unfortunately. It's all activation based.
We're under attack.
I really should be activating it at the beginning of every fight. Um,
We're under attack.
and that's just my laziness and my fear of failing to deactivate it.
We're under attack. We're under attack.
We've had a few really close calls lately where I have left on the longbow module and just not had enough healing to survive. So I need to make
We're
sure that
under
I have
attack.
that off after the first 2.5 minutes. Yeah, I flew the Apocalypse, pretty much like halfway through Tech 9, all the way through until maybe like 4 or 5 months into Tech 10. And then they released the Striker battleship, in which I flew the Apocalypse Striker for a while, but then swapped over to the Raven Striker.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
When we exit this, you will have to get another frigate. I suggest having one with a micro warp drive. That way you're not having to replace it every single time. And what you'll do,
We're under
if I can
attack.
find it, I don't know where it is. You see that gate down here? You'll just go in that direction and go as far as you can, so that way you don't die.
We're under attack.
Docking request accepted.
Well, now I'm locked out of level 10s, so we'll do level 6s for you. Let me know when you have another ship ready. Hey, anytime. If you want to join me for more and get more rewards, you're welcome to stay. They just won't be level 10 rewards. Alright. He's got a cruiser now. Yep, just run away as quick as you can, okay?
Undocking.
This will go a lot faster at this level.
under attack. We're under attack.
Have you been staying in low sec or high sec or null sec?
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Is he still alive? Ah, yep. I do like the high sec islands.
We're under attack. Review warp scrap.
Docking request accepted.
Yep. A lot of people like the high sec islands for the labs there. Okay. Let me know when you have another ship ready. Like I said, your best chance is a frigate with a micro warp drive. Just turn that micro warp drive on and run as fast as possible away. Ah, so you need, was it Silverhand that you need me to add as well? Yeah. Yeah, they can absolutely come in. Let me see if I can... Let me get this fixed here. I should be able to do both of your characters. It won't be in level 10s. Contacts. Last secret. S-T... S-I-C-R-E-T. Okay, we can try. Yeah, sometimes that happens.
Undocking.
We're under attack. 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 We're under attack.
Just trying to focus on my capacitor right now, make sure we always have that.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Comes another bubble.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Lots to do, lots to do.
We're under attack. We're being warp scrambled. We're under attack. attack.
Lots of damage coming in.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
I just need that extender to end so I can take care of him.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're
Yeah,
under
when the
attack.
shield boosters start to struggle to keep up with the damage, it's a lot of DPS coming in.
We're under attack.
It's almost
We're under attack.
that I should,
We're under
that I
attack.
should run that second red, just to reduce that damage a little bit.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
If I hit that next extender, it's gonna be really annoying.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under
Got it.
attack.
Docking request accepted.
It's a little sketchy running my bodyguards like this. You're welcome. If you want any more carries, just stop on by. Let's see if I can roll for another few labs, because I'd rather be flying the Lucent Moons. So we've got a 4 million lab, a 4 million lab, and a 5 million lab. I'll just take each one to its own lab. Maybe I won't do... Yeah, let's just take the Dominixes. They're still fun. What the heck is going on with my fleets? There we go. Yep, I do need to add you. Let me get you. Interesting that you went with the R35 instead of 34 or 32. Most people like the 32 and the 34 more.
Autopilot engaged. Undocking.
What makes you like the 35 so much?
Warp drive active.
Oh, I was just asking you, what makes you like the GTR 35 so much over like the 32 or the 34, which most people tend to like more than the 35.
Destination reached.
There's an Inquisitor here. There's two Inquisitors here.
Complete warp.
Warp drive active.
We're under attack. We're under attack.
Oh, I hate it when the game these things like this. They fix it for like a week, and then it goes right back to being desync.
Enemy ships detected.
Oh, funny. That's funny. And it just so happens to line up with the car, huh? See, I thought it was, in line with the Nissan GTR. That's where you're wrong, bucko.
Enemy ships detected.
Can you... Gosh. We're only 1 month away from being able to buy at least one, rattlesnake.
Enemy ships detected.
And we have about 2 months to try to get enough on all the characters to buy their own rattlesnakes. Which
Enemy
should be
ships
possible.
detected.
I might have to do a little bit of heavier grinding to make it work. I think I might have to make something like 300 million on the alphas by just grinding. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay making like 40 million ISK a day at Tech 7. But I'd like to have the rattlesnakes before we enter Tech 8.
Autopilot engaged.
I might have to go and see if I can just hit like a bunch of Inquisitors or something in the hopes that we get
Warp drive active.
stuff that's worth something. It's a really low chance though. At a
Warp drive
minimum,
active.
we'll probably have all 3 rattlesnakes by the time we're like 1 week away from Omega and Tech 8. I think. I'm just basing that off of the income we got from this Concord Pass, which was about
Destination reached.
760 million. Oh gosh, nope. I need to stop them in their track. Well, that's a problem. No, I keep doing the thing. Ugh. I've gotta set squad deputies again. There we go.
Fleet warp.
So we get... I have one character with only
Warp
300
drive
million.
active.
We're gonna have another 760 million from this Concord Pass. If we add another 760 for the next one, we're at 1.8 billion, which means, yeah, I need to make like
We're under attack.
300 to 500 million ISK on the alphas.
We're under attack.
No, not per week. We've got... I'm thinking we have 50 days, is what I'm thinking. That means we need to pretty much be making 100 million, or 10 million a
Enemy
day,
ships detected.
right? I did that right, right? Right? Yeah. We pretty much need to make 10 million a day on the alphas. Just to make that difference up. That's not too bad, but that's definitely gonna eat into my time. If I make 20 million a day, that cuts how many days I have to play in half.
Enemy ships detected.
If I make 40 million a day, um, that's a quarter of the time. That means I really only have to play for 15 days between now and that 50-day period to make that 500 million.
Enemy ships detected.
Wonder if maybe I just do like a really long stream tomorrow on the alphas. And see what we can do in, I don't know, like 8 hours or something like that. I have, but when I created the Alpha to Omega series, I did say that I wasn't going to leech off of other people. That can change if I want to change that for the Tech 8 to Tech 10 series. But I don't think we'll have an issue with money after we have the rattlesnakes up and running. We should just be able to do the Dormant Realms every week on top of the higher income from the Tech 8 missions. What should my goal be by the time
Enemy
I hit
ships
Tech 10?
detected.
Dang, I don't really know. We're kind of gifting ourselves the Lancer Dreadnought of our choice. So that can't be a goal. What should be our goal? You think we could make like 100 billion ISP by the time we hit Tech 10? Because that's pretty much what it's gonna cost to fit that loosened. That's a bit hard. Because even my main account is only at like 42 billion, 44 billion right now. I have bought a lot of things, so maybe I'd be there already.
Autopilot engaged.
Wonder if I should put something in Discord to see
Warp drive active.
what everybody suggests. We could probably make enough to buy a cyan. Because it's gonna be like 6 months between Tech 8 and Tech 10. At least. It could be like 8 or 9 months.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Yeah, very well could be cheaper.
Destination reached.
Fleet
I mean, the
lost.
cheapest is to buy like a Phoenix or something. I mean, when you're talking about 20 billion ISK just to
Warp
buy
drive active.
one of those. The problem we're gonna run into, which I have to decide how I want to address it,
We're under attack.
um,
We're under attack.
I personally really don't want to turn the alphas into like a full-time job between Tech 8 and Tech 10. So maybe we'll do like a couple of months where I show being able to make enough ISK to pay
Enemy ships
Omega
detected.
every month. But after that, I may decide to just go outright and buy however much Omega to get these characters up to Tech 10. I really don't know what I want to do about that. Because otherwise it's going to be like a full-time job on top of what I already do at work.
Enemy ships detected.
I think the alphas have done exactly what I intended them to do, which is show off how quickly you can access Omega, as well as how best to work your way to your first Omega and when you should wait, how long you should wait, and eventually I'll show off like what you can do day one. But it's kind of a difficult scenario because we're only making 760
Enemy
million
ships detected.
um, on the Concord passes. That means we'd have to grind
We're
700
under
million
attack.
a month, which isn't a whole lot, and I'm hoping the Dormant Realms are what solves that problem for us. But the only way that's gonna work is if we can get to, like, Dormant Realm 8 or Dormant Realm 9, just with the 3 characters. If I could do Dormant 10 on the 3 characters, that'll be the best way to handle that. Because then I know for sure I'm making that amount every month between Concord Pass and every week. Because, average is about
Enemy ships detected.
600 to 750 million every week for each character at level 10. Which 1 week of doing Dormant Realms plus the full month of Concord Pass does pay for the basic Omega. And if we're doing level 10 Dormant Realms every week, we can pay for Omega twice over. So for every month, for every 4 weeks of running level 10 Dormant Realms on the alphas, we're able to pay for 2 rounds of basic Omega. Yeah, it doesn't sound so bad, just sitting here thinking about it. I'm just afraid I don't want it to become like a burden. I'd like to keep it the sort of fun that I have currently with the alphas. laboratory in Unpass and Samaseki. Okay. Yeah,
Autopilot
definitely
engaged.
get your cyan wherever you need it to be before the update. This will probably be my last two labs for tonight. I just wanted to get some Concord Pass done in the meantime. You know, you can't warp if you're locked in. Yeah, the Karura is such a nice tank. I do
Warp drive
think
active.
the Hubris might be a little bit better. I mean, almost all of them might be a little bit better than the Karura in terms of tank because of the extra healing that armor tanking has. I really want to get my hands on the Naglfar uh equivalent. I can't remember what it's called.
Warp drive active.
The Naglfar bodyguard or whatever. Valraven. I think that's the name. Yeah. I keep calling it the Valraven. It just seems pretty good. Well, this one
Destination
doesn't have
reached.
the, oh yeah, it has the shield booster amount. But it's not nearly as good of a shield booster amount as the bodyguard, right? Yeah, the shield booster on the... Wow, you really messed up that name. Yeah, it'd be nice to have my hands on, like, one of these. Because I really like the extra shield booster and capacitor need that thing has. And if I'm fitting that bodyguard similarly to how I fit my Phoenix, I think it would do a lot better trying to tank the level 10s on its own.
Fleet warp.
I think if you
Warp
had
drive active.
any one ship that was most likely to tank the level 10 Dormant Realm 4 for long periods of time, or even solo, the Naglfar Bodyguard is going to be the one that'll do it.
We're under attack.
Or even the
We're under
Valraven
attack.
might do it. I just don't think the resistance on the Phoenix Bodyguard or the Karura is doing enough in Dormant Realm to justify it for solo.
Enemy ships detected.
Yeah, that's a pretty massive game changer for that thing. Because let's face it, the Lancer Dreadnoughts don't get a whole lot of use out of their lance. And there's really not a whole lot of reasons to actually use one.
Enemy ships detected.
So having the close-in weapon system is going to be way better for them. I'm almost surprised that they did not limit which um, close-in system could go on what. Like, they
Enemy
could have
ships
balanced
detected.
it in a way where the Lancers could only have a certain type of close-in weapon, or the normal Dreadnoughts could only have, like, anti-ship. But I guess they didn't want to go that far into, trying to balance those things.
Enemy ships detected.
So something that's kinda, like, in the back of my mind right now, when they made the change to a module for the when they changed the module for the carriers for the lock time and stuff, they then brought out all of the tactical modules, which is kind of the same as what they're doing here, where they brought in the close-in weapon systems, and now they're bringing the close-in weapon systems to all the dreadnoughts. I wonder if they're considering something wild behind the scenes.
Autopilot engaged.
I would love to have, like, some of the background statistics for each ship. Like,
Warp drive active.
are the developers looking at everybody flying these bodyguards because they have the Sea Whiz? And so they're trying to have more ships with the Sea Whiz to try to get people to fly those other ships? I think that's what's going on for the devs. I think the developers are seeing people
Warp drive active.
flocking to one kind of ship because of certain features, which are quite a bit better than what other ships offer. Um, and they're just trying to spread that feature around so people fly other things. I'm just kind of waiting for the day that they say, okay, we're just gonna bring dreadnoughts to high sec. You can probably find a
Warp
lot
drive
of that
active.
information on like on Z Killboard or something like that. I'm sure you can find that information relatively easily on one of those Killboard trackers.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, I mean, it only tracks reported stuff. It doesn't track absolutely everything. But it would give you a pretty good idea of what's going on.
Destination reached.
Fleet warp.
Warp drive active.
We're under attack. We're under attack. Enemy ships detected.
I really wonder how many people are still flying the basic dreadnoughts.
Enemy ships detected.
I would hope a lot of people are still flying the basic dreadnoughts, but I have a feeling that there are almost no basic dreadnoughts being flown compared to the Lancer Dreads um, or the Bodyguards. I'm almost certain you'll see more Bodyguards than you will basic Dreads.
Enemy ships detected.
I think that's just kind of the nature of the beast right now. There's so many people at the top end making a wild amount of money. Um, that it's really skewing the results of what's going on. The devs have been awfully quiet since releasing those new supers.
Enemy ships detected.
I haven't seen a single person even post about the new super carriers. Like, even virtual will try to show it on, like, a dev server after, like, a week or two, usually. But even he hasn't touched capital ships in a while. I don't know. But it has been unusually quiet for a new capital-sized ship.
Autopilot engaged.
I wonder how long it actually takes to manufacture them. Yep, I think we are out of labs. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning for me right now. And like you said, we've got that update coming. I think tomorrow I'm going to do a long alpha to omega because I have got to make that ISK. I need to do something about that. If we're gonna be like 500 million off, then I need to solve that problem. So maybe we'll see if we can make 100 million or something tomorrow on the alphas. So it's been what, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks since we saw the new Super Carriers release? It's been, I think, 2 weeks, maybe. You know, if they would just release the... Oh, yeah. God, that is the one thing I hate about the Dominic's Navy. I hate that this module locks you down.
Warp drive active.
It's a good thing they do, but I despise it because it slows me down. You know, the one reason why I
Warp
sold
drive active.
my original Cyans is because the Dominic's Navy issue is just the Cyan, but better in some cases. With the Dominic's Navy issue, I can run missions and labs, but with the Cyan or the Lucent, I'm kind of just limited to labs if I want to be efficient. It's just not enough to have 3 waves with like 5 enemies in each one for a capital ship.
Warp drive active.
The Dominix doesn't care because it tears through missions and moves pretty quickly through all of them. It just kind of overpowers the capital ships in high sec. There are very few ships in the game that just outright destroy capital ships in terms of, like, being able to make money. And the Dominix is one of those that can do that.
Warp drive active.
I hope if they release Marauders are absolutely going to be at the power level of the
Destination
Dominix
docking
Navy.
request accepted.
There's no reason for them to be weaker than the Dominix Navy. Okay, let me go ahead and do my industry first. Alright, I think we will end that there for today. I will very likely see you guys tomorrow. Probably gonna be doing Alpha to Omega, trying to solve our issue of a 500 million ISK deficit that we've got to make up for. That is not going to include the ISK we make on our Concord fast boxes. That's going to be on top of that. So tomorrow we're pretty much going to be trying to make like 900, 800 million, somewhere in there, in total. Yay! Alright, so thank you all so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. I'm glad we had some people who stopped by for some Dormant Realm carries. That was awesome. I appreciate it. I know this is a very normal time for me to be doing things. I appreciate it. I really do. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. Take care and be safe.